Windows Server 2019 System Administration. Welcome back everybody. I'm your trainer Prakash Pradhan for this entire series. In today's topic, we have chosen one of the feature of Windows Server operating system in order to manage some sort of your file server management. So over here, the today's topic is shadow copies and previous version. This is one of the best feature that among all the features I find sometime in order to reduce the working load or work burden or working more complicated environment responsibility of system administrator. Normally what happens whenever any file or folder is being deleted from the client side, so the client knows that their folder or files are always stored safe by the system administrator in the file server. But sometimes the system administrator may not be available in order to recover their files or the folder that they have deleted accidentally. So in that case, they are going to suffer. In that case, their work is going to be halted. So in order to overcome this issue, if we use the shadow copies or the previous versions, there are many advantages, among which we'll talk about just one. The best advantage of shadow copies and previous version is that if any of the client deleted the file from the file server accidentally, now that client do not require system administrator to recover that file if the shadow copy option is being enabled by the system administrator. So what it does now, this shadow copies option simply enable some sort of cache option. So what it does now, if the shadow copy is enabled in a particular drive, okay, that file will remain there as a cache. That means if the folder or the file is deleted accidentally by the client, now that client do not need to inform the system administrator asking him or her to recover that file from the file server. So what is the advantage over here now? Client can itself recover the file. That is the best option, so that the system administrator also don't get disturbed and the client file is also recovered within a fractional part of the second. In order to enable or use this feature shadow copies, of course you need to have a system administrator privilege and you need to select a drive where your file server is actually shared. So let's go to our server without wasting much time. This is my server, okay, and I have created one user, let's say name shadow. Okay, let's see. This is the user name shadow. Now I'm going to share one folder in this user's name, okay, so that I can show you that the shadow and previous version option can be used properly. Okay, so now I'm gonna show one folder. This folder I'm gonna share it in the name of that client itself. Okay, I'm gonna share it in the name of that user itself, and I'm gonna give this user read write. And I also need to make sure that this folder is accessible via the UNC path over here as well. 100, and let's say, since we know the folder name, we can give, yeah, done. It is done. Now I need to make sure from the client side as well. I hope the client has logged in. Okay, now this is a user named Shadow. Okay, now if I go to the UNC of that network, okay, 192.168.1.100 is my IP. I hope you remember. And let's go to only to the UNC path, and it should show me the files or the folders that's been shared. Our concern is shadow. See here, the shadow is here. Okay, now if I try to access, okay, done, fantastic, it's done. Now the option for the shadow version has to be enabled. So I'm going to create in one file, okay, from the client side, so that if the file is deleted, client will be able to recover itself. So let's see testing one. Okay, this is the one file that's been created inside a folder. Now don't forget, till now shadow version or shadow copy option is not enabled. So I'm going to go to the server, okay, from where the shadow is supposed to be enabled. Then I'm going to choose the drive, in which drive the file server is hosted. Then I'm going to right click and properties. You see, simple. Go to the shadow copies. See, we have only one partition over here, that's why. Now if you notice over here, it's not enabled. Now save and folders are shared. Enable. Okay, yes, you can set the timing and all as well. Okay, setting option is here. So now if I go to the setting, see, the use limit is this much MB. You can increase it. It is up to you. If you say no limit, of course it's going to affect your storing this capacity, or you can also schedule it. When do you want to run this? 7 a.m. every time. Now it's already 7. So without wasting a time, I'm going to create right now one copy. I'm going to create because it takes time otherwise. Okay, so it has created now one shadow copy. So okay, it's done. So one shadow copy is created now. So if I go to my drive itself from the server and go to the previous version, you notice, see, the backup is already taken now. Okay, now we go to the client, and intentionally we are going to delete one file because in a client, the client has already created one file inside that folder that's been saved by using your shadow copy option. Okay, now this is the folder of that client and he accidentally deleted this file. Okay, I'm gonna delete it. Okay, delete. Yes, you might be thinking you're bringing back from the recycle bin. Now let's go to the recycle bin. This is empty. Now let's say now this client come to know that my file is deleted. It's already done. Okay, my file is deleted and I need to recover. What we do normally, now this client is going to call the system administrator asking him for help in order to recover the deleted file. Okay, now since the shadow copy is already enabled, now the client can restore this file itself. So for that, let's go to our drive. Okay, that means that shared folder. Okay, this is the shared folder. Now this client is going to right click properties. You will notice the previous version is here. Did you see this? Okay, now we are going to see on which date the file was deleted. If you have got multiple days where the multiple copies were taken in a cache, so entire dates will be displayed over here. So I'm going to select or let's guess this is the date when I deleted the file. Let's open it first. See, this file is here. See again, this is the date, because there will be so many folders listed out. That means so many previous version for date backup will be listed over here. But right now we are having to, because we enable to intentionally in order to make sure that it does take effect instantly. So I'm going to open it. Okay, now right click this file. Okay, I can simply copy as a client. Okay, and then I can simply paste it over here. So see, file is recovered within a fractional part of the second. You don't need to call a system administrator now. Property, but this setting has to be done by the system administrator itself. Previous version. Okay, but when you go for the restore, okay, restore, you need to be sure we are going to restore. See, are you sure you want to restore the previous version of this? You'll have to be sure, because sometime by mistake you might be restoring the wrong one. Okay, if I go to open also, so simply it's going to open. What is the advantage now? If the file is being deleted by the client, so that client will be able to restore the file client itself. Now if I go to server and I open that drive and that folder, you see shadow, there is a one file that's been created by the user called redirect. What if I delete it as a system administrator? See, okay, now if I go back to the client PC and I try to access it, redirect, that's shadow, see, the file is not there. Now what this client is going to do, right click, property, previous version, choose the date, open, there's a file, right click, just copy and paste. You can do it any way you want. See, now done. So simple. So this is going to reduce a lot of work burden. Okay, lot of work, the lot of time of the system administrator will be saved easily. I hope this tutorial was quite beneficial to you to work as a system administrator in order to recover the deleted file. If you like this video, please do subscribe and like. Thank you.